Stand up if someone close to you has spent time in jail.
Street violence, an issue constantly on the minds of teenagers. Now, Teen Empowerment has created a comprehensive curriculum package that turns teenagers' concern over street violence into an intense educational opportunity.
As you watch this video, feel free to take notes, because we're gonna have this discussion afterwards, and it's intense what they're talking about, and you're definitely gonna feel impacted by it.
Voices from Behind the Wall uses a powerful video with an in-depth discussion guide to provide teachers with a well-developed tool for leading interactive classroom discussion and follow-through project assignments.
And I look at a lot of kids that are in jail right now, and the adults need to look at this. You got to start judging these kids a little bit differently. Because there are some of these kids that got the gun, and he's not a criminal. He's just afraid. And if he's afraid, that's an adult problem, because you're not protecting him.
The first inmate to be interviewed was Darrell Jones, who said that people call a teen with a gun a criminal, but sometimes that kid has the gun because he's afraid. What do people think about that? Jesse.
I think he's absolutely right, and more so than an adult problem. I think like America kind of promotes violence in a way that we can't really blame somebody who's grown up in these neighborhoods where there's not a lot of resources.
I feel like in that situation, like the environment raised the kid instead of the parent nurturing the kid, and that's why the kid ended up with the gun, and they were scared and whatever.
My younger brothers came up under me watching me, because I have older brothers and sisters who are citizens, never took the path of the street. But those of my generation who took the path of the street and the younger ones under me, they're all in prison now. I have a brother in Walpole, I have a brother that's out in the feds, and they came up watching what I did, and I made it acceptable that this is what it was.
Mac Hudson talked about making jail acceptable for his younger brothers. The question is, what did he mean by acceptable, and how do you think he feels about that now?
His brothers seen him do what he does in the streets, and that makes it right, which it doesn't at all. Like, I mean, I got a little brother, I got two little brothers myself, so I try to keep myself out of the streets. So he doesn't want to be in the streets.
That speaks to, I remember one of the brothers in the film mentioned, at a certain point, his family felt helpless because I think the word he used was like the beast had his claws so deep in him.
When I got caught on the case, I had to reflect when I was in that cell what all led up to that. And I realized it was that anger that I couldn't contain. And I realized a lot of youth on the street has that anger too.
Mark Thomas, he talked about how he was just filled with this anger, like this anger that he just couldn't seem to control. So what are some of the things that are happening right now that are making youth angry?
I think the biggest issue is like us not being heard / like feel like we don't have no power, like we can't make decisions,
If I'm mad, it's because I didn't get to express myself at that time. And that's what I feel like a lot of people's teens are going through.
One gunshot leads to two gunshots, which leads to four. So one body leads to two bodies, you know what I mean?
Voices from Behind the Wall, created by Teen Empowerment, will engage teens in thoughtful discussion and passionate writing.
People are like, what? Homework? Write a letter to someone you think is at risk of becoming involved in crime and violence. The person can be someone you know or have heard about, or someone you just imagine. In the letter, try to convince this person to turn his or her life around before it's too late. You may want to refer to specific things that were in the DVD.
Once they see this video and like they experience like, oh damn, like peer pressure do that, like, so if I follow you, I might end up, shot or something like that.
When you go to school, you have outside problems that affect you more than your school. So this is addressing my outside problems and helping me in school. So this will keep me in school for a month.
Voices from Behind the Wall is quickly becoming a favorite for teachers and educators.
So I first heard about the DVD from one of my colleagues, and when I started watching it, I noticed a lot of the things that the gentlemen on the DVD were saying were things that I hear from my students. I can't stand in front of my students and talk about prison. They're not going to respond to that, obviously. But when they see these guys talk, it's, guys from neighborhoods they live in, and guys they can really relate to. It's, a lot more meaningful for them. After the discussion, we got to the project part, and every one of them sat down and they were silent and were working so hard on these projects. It was honestly the most successful day we've had at Seaport. So I don't know, the curriculum is just amazing.
With this curriculum, I think what I just saw from a couple of minutes and a couple of activities, it gives you like tools to like gain power back and to know that you do have power to like talk to other people and to be like a leader.
We used this film there at the House of Correction. and the outcome was amazing. I mean, I literally had men in tears. This is one of the most powerful tools, and I think it should be used really all over the state and the country.
I'd also give it a 10 because although I saw the video before, like, it still overwhelms me.
I give it a 10 because it opened my eyes to what I could do to change my life, even though I'm not in the streets. I mean, everybody makes negative decisions, and it actually is a tool that everybody can use to open their eyes.
So I think this would be a heck of a tool to use in every school.